Hey folks, it's Cement once again, and just want to thank everyone for watching the John Candy Marathon. I know it wasn't the most popular marathon. In fact, while I was doing it, I saw I had subscriptions and they kept going down and down and losing subscribers. I mean, in one day I lost like 9 subscribers, and then the next day I lost another 3, so... I'll never reach 10,000 subscribers. I'll never be the big top guy. Not even close. But you know what? I enjoy talking about these movies. I'm glad there are people who enjoy them. I may not always be the nicest guy, but I do sincerely thank people for watching the videos and comments. So thank you for that. And you know what? I still would gladly do this marathon because John Candy deserved it. John Candy, I love talking about older movies like this. Like this guy. John Candy seems like such a sweetheart of a guy, such a kind person, kind individual. And I didn't want to end the videos with 2 rants, Wagons East, Canadian Bacon. I wanted to end it on a better note. Because John Candy, comedian on SCTV who gave a lot of warm-hearted performances, very funny. Was every single movie he was in great? No, but there's not one actor who has a perfect track record. There just isn't. And it's sad that he passed away so early. It's sad that he passed away so young. He was only 40-some years old. And unfortunately, he died while doing Wagons East, a film that he did not want to do, a film that honestly he should not have been doing. And with the heat and being on a horse, being in the mountains, that's not the best place for an overweight man to be. And then the last film released with him is Canadian Bacon, which is a lame-ass, unfunny flick. But John Candy's trying to do the best that he can. And if somehow, some way, some form, John Candy hears this, thank you for the memories. Thank you for making me and many others smile. Thank you for the great performances. And I really wish we could have seen a lot more. I wish we could have seen that Sylvester Stallone film with John Hughes, Bartholomew versus Neff, which I mentioned, I think when I did my first video on John Candy, the next marathon, or I know I've mentioned it before, where it was going to be about 2 neighbors who fight each other, feuding with each other. John Candy, Sylvester Stallone. I wish we could have seen that movie instead of Wagons East or Canadian Bacon, or honestly, instead of only Once Upon a Crime. I would love to have seen that. As for favorite and least favorite John Candy films, if I did a top 5, my 5 favorite John Candy films, I would limit myself to films that he starred in or co-starred as one of the main leads. Because if I didn't do that, then I would put like Stripes. But I can't call Stripes a John Candy film. It's a film with John Candy in it, but it's not a John Candy film. But Stripes I love to death. It's one of my favorite comedies. But if I'm looking at films that John Candy starred in, my top 5 favorites, number 1 would be a personal favorite, Summer Rental, with him and Richard Crenna. That's what introduced me to John Candy. I fell in love with that film. Get lost, buddy. I'm watching the Smurfs. Yeah? You seen the one where Papa Smurf smashed the shit out of a guy with a red hat? Did you see that one? Have you seen that one? You want to see that one? So, my personal favorite is Summer Rental. Number 2, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great work he did with Steve Martin. Music, soundtrack, great camaraderie. Probably even said that word wrong. Back and forth chemistry between him and Steve Martin were fantastic. It had some good drama, but it was also a very, very funny movie, very sweet movie, very heartwarming movie. Number three, I would put actually The Great Outdoors. Watching it again, I really had fun. I remember I told a friend of mine that it's been 10 years since I've seen it, but honestly, after I said that, it didn't feel right. And the more I thought about it, it's been actually like 20 years since I had seen The Great Outdoors, or more than 20 years. It's been a long time, so it was almost as if I was seeing it for the first time. I remember vague things about it, but seeing it again was a great pleasure. The Great Outdoors is a very fun movie. So yeah, I thought John Candy did a great job in it. So that'd be my number three. Number four, what's going to put number four? Uncle Buck, great performance, very nice job, writing, directing by John Hughes. And number five, I put Armed and Dangerous. I mean, I would put Stripes and Nothing But Trouble up there, but again, he doesn't really star in those movies. He's sort of third, fourth, fifth, seventh billing on that. But once he's the main star, those are my top five. Summer Rental, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, and Armed and Dangerous. And then there's many others. I love Nothing But Trouble. I love Stripes. I love ones I didn't review because I'll wait till another day to review them. National Lampoon's Vacation, Home Alone, which he has bit parts in both of those. Worst, number one, number two would be Canadian Bacon, Wagons East, because those are the films that just made me very mad, very angry. It's the fact that one, in a way, killed him, and it was a shitty Western comedy. And the second one, Canadian Bacon, that's the last film that was released, and John Candy had nothing to do. He's on the cover of the DVDs or posters or VHS, and it feels like he's barely in the fucking film. He has no consequence to the third act of the film, and it's just a poorly directed movie by Michael Moore that he should stick to his sickos and his Fahrenheit 9/11s and all that shit. Leave directing a film to other people, especially writing as well. And John Tanner just poorly used, and that's 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 the one that I had the most trouble watching was Canadian Bacon. It was just I don't think I specified as much in the rant, but it was the fact that's the last one that released with him and is pretty damn depressing. And just that one just rubbed me the wrong way, Canadian Bacon. It's political humor, which I'm not really that much of a fan of political humor. It's one of my least favorite types of humor. And then it was shitty as well. At least a film like Doctor Strangelove was funny. That's why I really enjoyed Doctor Strangelove. Canadian Bacon was a bunch of fucking bacon bits. Fake bacon bits that your fucking dog wouldn't eat. That's the kind of shit it was. So Canadian Bacon's one, Wagons East is two. Three, I would put honestly Volunteers. That's how much I hated it. I thought it was one of Tom Hanks' worst performances. With very stupid, fake ass British, not even British, but just uptight accent. Well, hello there. How are you doing? Fucking entire scene devoted to Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whatever the fuck. I think it was Coca-Cola. And John Candy was absolutely annoying, and that was you made John Candy annoying. Movie. That's very hard to do, but you did it. So I hate Volunteers. I hate it. Number four, honestly, would be it seemed like a good idea at the time, and Find the Lady. I put those together because it's John Candy playing the same role. Between the two, it seemed like a good idea at the time is the worst one because John Candy's barely in it. At least Find the Lady, John Candy's one of the stars, but it's still a really, really lame comedy. Unfunny, bad hijinks. At points at the end, it seemed like he was trying to be a bad version of a Keystone Cops or some kind of comedy, or maybe Keystone Cops is a bad comparison, but one of those farces, one of those back in the day when a bunch of stuff starts happening, people going in and out of doors, and in this sort of fun house at the end. It was just unfunny, lame, poorly scripted movie. And then number 5, The Clown Murders. It was incredibly dull, incredibly slow. Could have been a good concept if you made John Candy the hero and John Candy going against his stereotypical roots and the fat guy and he eats and being the hero and saving the day. And no, you don't do that. You made a very boring. It's not even a slasher film. It's a, I don't know what the fuck you call it. It's a shitty film. That's what I call it. And anytime John Candy's on screen, he's always got to be eating a different fucking type of food. And then at the end, you have him crying and crying some more. Feel sorry for John Candy for that movie. So, Canadian Bacon, Wagons East, Volunteers, a tie of it seemed like a good idea at the time, and Find the Lady, and The Clown Murders. That one that you did with Anthony Perkins, I completely already forgot it. I literally forgot the name, and John Candy's in it for like 50 seconds at the beginning of the film, so that's one of those, it just wiped from my brain. I literally don't remember that movie. Did I even review that film? I think I did, but I just remember the cover of the VHS, but I don't even remember the name. I literally would have to look it up. That's how much I remember that movie. But yeah, I don't know what more I can say other than a thank you to John Candy. Thank you for the movies. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for the laughs and smiles. And again, I looked on YouTube. Not many people did a John Candy marathon. I'm like, you know what? This guy deserves it. He deserves it. And he made a lot of really good movies. And it was a really fun marathon to do. Hope you had fun watching it. I know I upload reviews and videos very quickly, but I do that just in case anything happens to the file, and that way it's on YouTube, and then you can do whatever you want. You can wait on it. You can wait and watch it a week from now, a month from now, a day from now, whenever. It'll be there. I figure I'll put it there, and then it'll be there for anyone to see other than being stuck on my computer and no one to see. And yeah, not much more I can say than that. And as for what's coming next, I will venture into some random videos and reviews. One day I want to do another marathon because they have been fun. But as for the next video, which will probably be uploaded the same day as this will give you a little clue. I'll be back.